First up is Doreen Carey with Carey Advocates.
We should move it a little bit, or you think that's good?
Zoom in a tiny bit on the, yeah, good.
There?
So you get two signs. Good.
Wait, I'm gonna
And
just...
I'm so glad to be here with all of these advocates for greener communities and green
good.
steel. My name's Doreen
problem. I'm
Carey.
going to try to set up the microphone.
I'm a 40-year resident of Gary, Indiana. And I worked at U.S. Steel, Gary Works for 7 years. I worked in the food plant. Okay. I suffer from a chronic lung disease that can be attributed to living and working in the polluted air of Gary. I'm retired and currently the president of the board of Gary Advocates for Responsible Development, or GARD. Our mission is to promote economic development in the city of Gary that prioritizes environmental justice, community health, and the protection of our neighborhoods and natural resources. Gary and U.S. Steel have been inextricably linked for 100 years. But burning coke made from coal has resulted in untold cancer deaths and respiratory disease and damage to our natural environment. Data on emissions from heavy industries nationwide show that residents living in the area where Gary Works steel plant is located, Indiana, are in the top 10% of U.S. residents most at risk for developing asthma, and top 10 to 20% range for having low life expectancy. And this is from the report created by Industrious Labs. And it's a great help to all of us for explaining to others and even our own community what the dangers of having a steel plant in your community is. So Northwest Indiana Steel Mills, also found that U.S. Steel Gary Works released 180 tons of 24 different hazardous air pollutants into the air in 2022, the most emissions of any steelmaker in Indiana. And the steel industry impacts aren't just statistics in Northwest Indiana, they are personal, as it is with me. It's children missing school because of their asthma, families overwhelmed by hospital bills, and neighbors we've lost far too soon from cancer. Our community deserves clean air and a future in which Gary Works and the region's other steel mills replace their polluting facilities with cleaner, greener steelmaking technology. And the technology we've been looking into with Industrious Labs and other partners is direct iron reduction, which will reduce both climate harming and health harming pollutants. And we look forward to a cleaner, greener Gary and a clean.
Thank you, Doreen. Coal-based steelmaking is responsible for an estimated up to 892 premature deaths and nearly 250,000 cases of asthma symptoms each year due to air pollution. Next up, we have Rachelle Ceaser with the Sustainable Steel Community Cohort.
Woo! Woo! Rachel! Good morning. Good morning. Am I good? Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Rachelle Morgan Ceaser from the city of Gary, Indiana, and I want to shout out to Hillary and to Lee for creating this wonderful opportunity. Just hold it closer. For this wonderful opportunity to be here today and to give me a chance to share my steel story. It's a personal story and it's a brief story. So if you'll indulge me for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, I'm honored to share my story with you today, a story that is rooted in steel, in the steel veins of Gary, Indiana, a city that was built by the dreams and sweat of those who migrated in search of a better life. My name is Rachelle Ceaser. As I said, I'm born and raised in this remarkable city of Gary, Indiana, where the mills once roared with opportunity and where my own parents found their path to the American dream. My parents, like many others, were part of the Great Migration. They journeyed from the farmlands of Arkansas, seeking opportunities in the burgeoning steel industry that promised a new life. Both of them found work in the steel mills that powered the expansion of the middle class in America. The mills were more than just factories. They were engines of economic growth, hope, and possibility for Black families like mine. The promise of a steady income, home ownership, and a future for their children was within reach because of this industry. But the story of Gary is not just about steel. It's about the rise of a people. It was during this time that Black political power began to take shape in America, and my hometown led the charge. Richard Hatcher was elected as the first Black mayor of Gary, and indeed the first Black mayor of any major U.S. city. I'm proud to say that his daughter, a brilliant and inspiring woman and a state representative in Indiana, has become a close friend and colleague. Mayor Hatcher's election was a moment of transformation, a beacon of what was possible, not just for our city, but for Black Americans everywhere. He made us believe in the power of our collective voice. When I think back to those formative years, I can't forget my 5th grade social studies teacher, Miss Katie Hall. She was a force of nature in the classroom and planted in me and my classmates the seeds of pride in our history and a sense of responsibility to carry that legacy forward. She often reminded us that we had a crucial role in the building of this country and that it was our duty to learn, to grow, and to honor that legacy. Mrs. Hall went on to serve in the Indiana State Legislature and later the U.S. House of Representatives. It was she who authored the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Bill, a momentous achievement that resonates to this day. As I reflect on my life, the steel industry has been a double-edged sword for Gary. It built our city, providing jobs and prosperity for generations, including my own family. But it also has taken so much from us. The mills over the course of a century have contaminated our shores, our air, and water. For much of this time, there was no regulation, no safeguards to protect the health of the people or the environment. Today, there are agencies, the EPA and at the state level item, but we know that they are not doing nearly enough. The workforce reduction brought on by the technological advances and the rise of foreign steel trade has left a deep mark on our community. At one time, U.S. Steel employed 30,000 workers in Gary, including my parents. Today, that number has dwindled to just 3,000. The economic impact of this reduction has been devastating, and our community has struggled to recover. The loss of these jobs meant the loss of economic security for thousands of families, and it has left a lasting void in the fabric of our city. As I conclude my steel story, I'm filled with both reflection and hope. Hope for an industry that has been the lifeblood of Gary, but also the source of its greatest challenges. The steel industry, which built its legacy and brand on the backs of generations of hardworking people, has an opportunity, in fact, it has a duty to heal the damage it has caused. For too long, the profit of steel has come at the expense of the very people and places that gave it strength. But the story doesn't have to end here. Steel has always symbolized strength, resilience, and durability. These same qualities must now guide the industry in the next chapter of its journey. It is time for the steel giants to leverage their vast resources and not just to refine their processes, but to remediate the harm done to the communities they once sustained. From clearing up our shores to restoring our air and water, the steel industry can and must take responsibility for the long-term impact of its actions. And it doesn't stop with environmental repair. This industry, forged by generational steel workers, has the opportunity to invest in the future of those who have given their lives to it, whether through job retraining, community development, or building pathways to new opportunities. The power of steel can be more than a symbol of the past. It can become a force for renewal. Imagine an industry not only known for the steel it produces, but for the communities it restores, an industry that takes pride not only in the bridges and buildings it creates, but in the futures it fosters and the lives it uplifts. That is the awesome power of steel. It's time to forge a new legacy, one that respects the labor and sacrifices of generations and honors the places and people who have been part of this extraordinary journey. Thank you.
People over profits. People over profits. People over profits. People over profits. Thank you, Rachel. From the Industrious Labs report recently released, we know that the health costs from steel and coke plant emissions total an estimated 6.9 to 13.2 billion annually, while the economic losses due to missed workdays and reduced activity exceed $137 million. Please give it up for our next speaker, NaTisha Washington.
Good morning, everybody. My name is NaTisha Washington. I'm the communications manager with the Breathe Project, and I'm here to, unfortunately, not talk about the great legacy of our Steel Nation. So as many people know, the Pittsburgh city is known as the Steel City. It is known for its industrial foundation. But one reputation that they didn't tell us that we were going to have is being the biggest coke dealers in America. We have the largest and still standing and oldest coke manufacturing industry in our city, and it is one of our biggest polluters. Of the dirty top 10 industries in our county, it is the main one that is emitting emissions that is pretty much killing us. So much like the coke that we're not talking about, it does have the same type of harms and side effects. Some of those harms include irritated eyes, continuous coughing, not being able to sleep at night, not even being able to open your window during a hot summer day because you don't want to smell rotten egg stenches all day and have your children have an asthma flare that sends them to the ER room. We have these side effects on a daily. We have hundreds of smell reports that come into our Smell PGH where residents are saying that we need help. We want this to stop. My children are sick and my children can't go to school. I can't go to work until this is reduced. We have been the #1 top 1% for cancer risk of industrial pollution. We have childhood asthma rates that are 3 times the national rates. We have people that are having heart-related diseases that are killing them by the hundreds. Our mortality rate that we had this year showed that 640 to over 1,300 people are dying annually prematurely because of the industrial pollution that we have in our community. That is almost 7 times more than COVID is killing our people, yet it is not considered a health crisis, and we wonder why. We wonder why these UPMC officials, professionals that are also in this steel building, and other health professionals rather tell residents to leave their homes than to actually find a solution to improve their health. And we are tired of dying slowly and having our families being taken away from us just because an industry doesn't want to pay the money that they should have been paying us, that they promised us before, to fix up these facilities and have investments in their infrastructure that could actually reduce the emissions. We're tired of fighting them in public comments as they greenwash us and tell us that they don't have enough money to make this happen and don't want to pay permit fees to even meet those standards or have a permit that meets those standards. So we are forging together as these different states come together to say that we are stronger than this steel nation. We are stronger than the steel that they built, and much like our city is trying to do, we will have a healthier, more technologically advanced and cleaner future, because together we can stand up to these industries and we can say that we are not going to stop, we are not going to silence until this is fixed. They keep thinking that we're not going to show up to these meetings. They keep thinking that we're not going to keep calling press. They keep thinking that we're going to silence these voices, the voices that are sick and at home and can't be here all the time. But we are going to amplify them. This year, more than ever, we are going to amplify those voices so that they stand taller than this building that's behind us, and they stand taller than these executives that are trying to sell us, because we are more important than the pollution and the industries that we have here. Our health is more important, because if we don't have workers, if we don't have people, we don't have an industry. And we hope that those voices are heard and that these messages are heard, because come next year, we will lower these emissions or we will shut this down. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
Cancer rates are 12% higher near steel plants and 26% higher near coke plants compared to the national average. We also know that communities of color and low-income communities are disproportionately affected. Please give it up for our next speaker, Patrick Campbell.
Patrick! Will you ask Monica if she wants to speak? Can you close this out? Oh, you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Good morning. I'm Patrick Campbell. I'm the Executive Director of the Group Against Smog and Pollution located here in Pittsburgh. And I'm grateful to be alongside these community leaders, advocates, and researchers from across the country advocating for clean and green steel. And we're here today to send a message. We're here today outside the Met Coke conference to deliver a message that can no longer be ignored. Our community's health and well-being must come before industry profits. For far too long, the coal and steel industries have prioritized their bottom line over the health of our people. The pollution they release has exacted a heavy toll, causing untold suffering in communities that deserve far, far better. The Mon Valley, once a proud emblem of American industry, has become a stark warning of what happens when profit takes precedence over the health of people. Places like Clarendon and Braddock have paid the price for decades of environmental neglect. A recent report by Industrious Labs has put hard data behind what we already knew. Pollution in the Mon Valley is linked to an alarming number of excess deaths. These aren't just numbers, they represent real people, our neighbors, friends, and families. And we're here to demand a different future, one where the health of our communities and the health of our planet are non-negotiable. We need a steel industry that leads in innovation and reduces its emissions and carbon footprint. To make this future a reality, we must invest in clean energy, transition to renewable energy, and adopt sustainable industrial practices. We have to hold polluters accountable, enforce meaningful penalties for companies that break environmental laws and endanger our communities. We must prioritize environmental or community health and environmental health. We must fund initiatives for air quality monitoring and health screenings to safeguard public health. The attendees inside the Met Coke conference, we asked this: listen to the voices of the people affected by your decisions. Commit to building a steel industry that is sustainable, equitable, and safe. Thank you.
Yeah, Patrick! All right.
Thank you to all our wonderful speakers today. It is only with strong advocates like the folks here that we can truly make a difference in our communities. And to all of the impacted residents who are living near polluting facilities, we see you and we stand with you. Thank you.
Thank you! Woo! All right.
Are we done?
Do Emma's chant. Why don't we do Emma's chant in front of the U.S. Steel building?
we're gonna do Emma's
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we're gonna walk over now.
Yeah.
You want to do that right now?
Yeah.
Can you give us 1 sec to
Yeah.
just put this?
Yeah, no rush.
It's not full.
Sorry?
We're gonna walk.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Trying to hold it.
Karen, then we're just gonna walk to the next, and we're gonna take a picture. Oh, well, we're not quite done with it yet, so hold on to it.
All right.
If it's not totally destroyed.
It's falling apart.
Here.
Oh, Emma has some chance.
Oh, good.
Emma,
Emma's got some chance. Emma,
Hey.
we're
You
gonna
found it.
do some of
Sorry,
your
I realized this was the driving
There you
direction
go.
for the bus, but I think the next one is just a parking lot where we're all, well,
yeah, I parked over there.
okay.
Coke kills. Get it out of steel mills.
So we gotta get that with a rhythm.
Coal kills. Coal kills.
Yeah, give them to Maudie and just tell her to peel off and see if she can hand it out.
Get it out of steel mills. I think it's a little like there's a lot. I feel like we need a drum. We need a drum.
Is this yours?
Who has a pot and a spoon?
Okay.
Oh.
Are you freezing?
Yeah.
You doing okay?
It's no, you gotta give me some credit. This is broken. Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
Let's do it.
I think we're gonna go this way to go in front of the hotel.
Okay, maybe with some signs. Folks with signs. You guys want to go towards the front with your signs?
Okay. It's so, well, it's okay. It'd be a little damp.
A little damp.
You know?
A lot damp. I think everything is a lot damp.
Emma has one camera. Looks like I'm just gonna rely on that. Emma.
She's live streaming this, so you can just walk behind her.
We're just waiting while people do interviews. Okay.
Should we maybe not bother with live streaming this part? I think Deb's trying to live stream. I think I got that.
I don't know how.
I'll tell everything.
Okay.
Deb, I think this is going to be a little while, so we can stop the live stream. I think if you're still live streaming it.
I wanted to touch anything. This is NaTisha.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, go with the mic here for a second.
I'm just gonna keep streaming because she's streaming.
Okay.
That's up.
Thank you so much. Oh yeah, thanks for enduring the rain. Not the best day for an event.
I got my. Okay, perfect. Okay. Lisa, I'm gonna drop this.
Can you hold this up? Oh, you have an umbrella. Well, my umbrella is like collecting water.
Okay, we're marching. Is the front that way or the front?
Yeah, we're gonna walk by the front.
Right?
Sure, or just like, peel off and see what it's like inside.
When I say clean, you say steel. Clean.
Steel!
Clean.
Steel!
When I say clean, when I say clean, you say steel.
Steel!
Okay, nailed it.
Okay, when I say.
That was the warm up.
Alright, we're gonna learn this chant that I made up on the bus. Okay? This is how it goes. Cold kills. Repeat after me. Cold kills.
Coke kills!
Get it out of steel mills.
Get it out of steel mills!
Alright, let's do that together. Cold kills.
Coal kills!
Cold kills.
Coke kills!
Get it out of steel mills.
Get it out of steel mills!
Cold kills.
Coal kills!
Cold kills.
Coke kills!
Get it out of steel mills.
Get it out of steel mills! Let's do it one more time. When we get to the front. When we get to the front of the building. Yeah.
How many people are at the conference? You know?
It's not very big, like 100.
100 goons, ghouls.
Yeah. I feel like it's proportional to our group.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
we're just fighting 3 people each.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like-
exactly.
We got headlines. We got little
Green steel!
Now!
Oh.
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Green steel!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
Shut it down!
What do we want?
Green steel!
What do we want? When do we want it?
Now!
Okay.
Did we do it? Is that good? Good job, Emma.
Yeah, I get it.
All right. Cold kills.
Coal kills!
Cold kills.
Coke kills!
Get it out of steel mills.
Get it out of steel mills!
Cold kills.
Coal kills!
Cold kills.
Coke kills!
Get it out of mills.
Get it out of steel mills!
Be careful crossing here. This is a very busy road here. You're going very far.
How you doing?
No, I'm good. I'm just saying a little modification here.
Oh, with us? Yep. How are we on time? Did you watch? Or ever gone? 9:55. Doing good. Maybe like 11. So we're meeting the bus at 10:30. Woo! Cold.
Cold rolled steel.
Yeah.
Look, guys, I just became a champ 20 seconds ago. Anybody can jump in at any point. I don't even have a megaphone.
Yeah, who I'm talking to about.
Sorry.
I know, like I wish we could have done it yesterday was there.
Wow, what a cool building.
And then today was raining. But you know what? That bus is warm. Are you okay?
Where the public stays in.
Okay.
If we go on these stairs, it's their private property.
Let's not do that.
So that, but the logo is right there. So
Okay, well, okay. Lisa's our photographer. She'll find our angle.
just go on the private property.
No. Well, I mean, no. I think this group, we're a no. If you want to take pictures afterwards with the group of people who are a yes, go for it.
But don't go on the steps.
Yeah.
Because that will bring out security.
Okay.
Our permit allows us to see sidewalks as long as we're not blocking those green.
Okay, don't go on the steps. Just stay in front, and we'll line up for a photo. Maybe take down some umbrellas. Yeah, if you still have a sign that's not completely destroyed. Oh, nice.
Oh man, interesting stuff.
It's had a life.
I don't know if this one is gonna do it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, this is good. Yeah, we got it. Yep.
Oh, there we go.
They didn't all survive. Okay, Lisa's our photographer, so if everyone else wants to